Good morning, family. Quick question, and this is a real question I want an answer. How do you handle it when you find out that someone that you think you're cool with has a version of you living in their mind that does not resemble who you know yourself to be at all? Like, unrecognizable. And I'm asking this question because I got up this morning, started to get my day started, clearly. Whenever you see a black woman with her edge band on, you know she's getting ready to go outside. And I found myself laying on the couch, because ADHD, and thinking about something that happens to me quite a lot. And I hope you can relate, because I know this can't just be me. So it never fails that at least a couple of times a year, I'll meet somebody who I think is really cool, will have a great vibe. And after a couple of days, weeks, or months, it comes out that we have a mutual friend who they've heard about me from. And what they've heard is not what the person is experiencing meeting me for themselves. And they often have like this cautiously confused look on their face, like, you were supposed to be this unreasonable, larger-than-life bitch who doesn't give a fuck and blah, blah, blah. I mean, yes, you don't give a fuck, but, like, you're actually a decent, reasonable, pleasant person. Like, I'm just stunned that this is who you are because I was led to believe, insert whatever. And you want to know the crazy thing? Every single time this happens, the person who was going around convincing people that I was a monster, always, and I don't use absolutes a lot, but this time it actually fits. Always, without exception, it's always someone who tried to break my spirit and failed. It's always someone who tried to pull, oh, you think you cute? And I'm like, yeah, I do. What of it? Who's mad that I don't hate myself as much as they secretly hate themselves, who is now making me look like the boogeyman? And honestly, I feel like I make a video about this at least every 6 to 8 months, because it never ceases to amaze me that when people can't manipulate you, their next recourse will always be to manipulate how others see you. But the thing that they don't ever think about is what happens when that person meets you for themselves. Let this be what you remember for the rest of the year, all 2 or 3 weeks of it. A consistency of character is the best response to slander. A consistency of character is the best response to idle gossip. A consistency of character is probably why I have so many lurkers on my page who swear they can't stand me but are helping my algorithm more than they realize. How you doing?
Thank you. Far too kind.
Also, P.S., because there's always a P.S. If you get really bad intel from someone that you think is lovely, from someone that you normally trust their judgment, but on this, you're like, friend, I'm not sure. I can see how this person might have a big personality and might not be everybody's cup of tea, but you made them into something that my gut is telling me they're not. When you peep that, it is your responsibility to heighten your discernment and ask yourself, why did they feel the need to misrepresent this person so heavy-handedly? What does that say about them? What in this person might have offended their demons to motivate that behavior? And how do I make sure that I'm not next? Because be clear, I'm not immune to this. I'm not always the person being misperceived. There have been times where I have misperceived someone based on really bad intel from a friend of mine. And then it wasn't until that friend betrayed me, or it was just my turn to be lied on, that I realized, oh shit, if you lied about me to people, you might have lied about her to people, or him to people. Folks who constantly seek to assert their dominance by manipulating perception, it tends to not be a one-off. It tends to be a character flaw. And meanwhile, here I am, my dumbass. Even if I can't stand you, if you poppin', if you fly, if you talented, I'm gonna still give you your credit because I'm not a hater. And I think that's what this comes down to. Learn how to confront your inner hater and learn how to spot the haters who live amongst you. All right. I've been lying on the couch, fully dressed for too long. Let me go start my day. I hope whoever needed to hear this hears this, because in the work that I do, and I have so many clients that I work with, I can't tell you how many times I've seen really beautiful connections and really great potential relationships be ruined just by third-party interference. And as I get older, I'm realizing even if somebody I love tells me something, I'll listen and I'll still verify for myself, right? Get in the habit of not thinking someone's a shitty person simply on what you've heard from others, because, you know, we're all just human beings doing human shit. And hating is human, whether we want to admit it or not. That's why emotional intelligence is so important. See how I brought that all back? All right. Love y'all. Bye.
You really have to watch out for the people that make their entire personality about being a nice person. These are actually very insecure people because they're constantly looking for external validation. So if you're not giving it to them, if you're not being nice back to them, they will talk about you behind your back. They will try to sabotage you. They will literally make it their mission to ruin your life because they're so dependent on that validation. And when they meet someone who's not dependent on that validation, it makes them really angry.
One of the most self-aware things you can do is address your own feelings of jealousy and envy. Being honest with yourself and being like, oof, this makes me feel something even though I wish it didn't. I need to remove myself or not look at this or mute this person because it brings up my own feelings of inadequacy is one of the most mature things that you can do. And oftentimes it's not your fault, but what you do with it matters, and no one is immune to this.
Once you develop a certain level of discernment, it will start to scare manipulative people away. They will realize that their usual tactics no longer work on you, so they will rewrite the narrative. They paint a false picture of you before you could tell the truth about them. Suddenly you're the crazy one, the problem, or starting drama. Because they know that people without discernment will believe the lie before they question the manipulator. Discernment will always be their biggest threat and your greatest protection.
A person who has the courage to be disliked is the freest person in the room. Most people are tangled up in performance, trying to be agreeable, trying to win approval, trying to keep the peace. But the person who lets go of all of that, they are untouchable because they already know the truth. No matter how carefully you move, someone's going to disapprove. So instead of living for applause, they live for alignment with their values, their boundaries, their direction. Here's why that's powerful. You can't guilt them into saying yes when they mean no. You can't bribe them with validation they don't need. And when they feel disrespected, they'll walk away without a backward glance. That kind of clarity is magnetic. And here's the irony. When you stop contorting yourself to be liked, people actually respect you more. Confidence isn't about being agreeable. It's about being anchored. The person who doesn't fear being misunderstood or disliked has already stepped outside of everyone else's control. That's not arrogance. That's freedom. And it's one of the most dangerous and liberating powers that you can build.